Man, you straight from the south side. Mike, man. I'm just so happy to be here right now. Real Rap Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back. Another episode of Real Rap Podcast. We are here with two of the ugliest niggas in the city. Nah, these are some fly ass dudes, man. I got my boy Julian, and then my day one from the pay one. Oh man, KilJoi, bro. Mm-hmm. Literally the bro that started me off in comedy, sitting right here.
It's true.
Wow, that was a lot of years ago, man. Mm-hmm. And we back here. And before we actually even get into the podcast, can we talk about what the hell happened tonight in Linwood?
No, we can't.
Had to be there.
Yeah. We're not going.
Almost had a game fight over a football team.
That was your doing.
Yeah, for real. That happened with you on
Yeah.
Yo, this city and the towns around it. I love them, man. I love them.
How long you been in Chicago for?
It's got to be about 13 years now.
Wow.
How long you been in LA?
Years? Not long, bro. Like 4 years, maybe. Like something
No
like
kidding?
that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you migrated from the O out there?
Correct. Yep.
Why did I think you was out in LA for like the gang of years, man?
Cause I had work in LA for the gang of years, but I wasn't living in Los Angeles. So I was going back and forth between LA and Omaha for a lot of work.
What's the deal with the comedy scene in LA?
When you say what's the deal, what do you mean? Like, is it there's a comedy scene? What's the deal with it?
It's dope because you move around. Like you do a lot of moving around. So by the way, gang, introduce yourselves a little bit more, Julian, because you just jumped off the porch and started doing comedy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How long you been doing comedy now?
Officially, my first show was in May 2nd, I believe. And,
oh damn! Like you just started.
Just started because my first open mic was in March, and I was doing it for like the hee-hee-ha-has. I had like great jokes about pussy, and it was cool. And then after that, I was like, all right, cool. I did it once. I may or may not do it again. And then I met this event organizer, and she was like, hey, you do comedy? And I honestly just was like lying. I was like, oh yeah,
that's what we all do. That's what we all do. I remember them days. Year one, hey, can you do 15 minutes? Yep. Of course, yeah. You get up there like online dating, right, guys?
Yeah. I don't think I ever had the opportunity to do 15 if I didn't have it though. When I was coming up though, so I think, for me, I always I told the line for that. I never went on stage if I didn't have a 15, bro. I'd rather do 5 and get off stage to a round of applause and do 15 bomb.
Oh, you better than me. I went up there many a night.
Many a night.
Lady just carpet bomb the whole thing. You sure you got 15? What? Is the elephant heavy? Let me at him. Do my 3 minutes and then go, sure did get hot in here. Where's this gonna go?
Oh shit.
When's the first time you did 15 minutes and you was actually like, all right, cool, I got the 15?
Oh, it was some time ago. I can't even remember. I can't even remember. It's been a little minute, but then you always like refining and working on stuff. But I mean, tonight I didn't even know like that first show. I think I did like a half hour. I didn't even feel like it. I wasn't even thinking about it though.
Which first show was that?
The first show we was out at tonight.
Oh yeah, today, yeah. Yeah, it was 30. Yeah, we all did 30.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy, man.
That's not your first 30 though.
Clean 30? Which is nice too.
Man.
Yeah, no choice.
That's a wow. I mean, if the crowd is lovely, then you can create with them and just have fun with them. Is the crowds be like that in LA?
No, we got crowds. I mean, you only had too many shows. You got bad shows still, but for the most part, if you're doing a professional show, you're getting paid for some shit. There's always a crowd there. So. I mean, more so, LA is a club city, so you're doing more shows if you're on a professional level at club settings, so everyone knows what they're there for. It's not like a surprise or anything, so you're not fighting for anybody's attention, which makes it a lot easier to be funny, honestly. Which also makes it a lot easier to be delusional, because sometimes a lot of comedians that go in front of, certain crowds where, those laughs aren't really earned. It's more so just given because of the setting. Or you can follow a funny comedian and kind of run off that momentum. So
yeah,
I think you can get cheap laughs in LA. I don't think you get cheap laughs in Chicago.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit more difficult to come by. But you've been in LA for 4 years now. Like, what's one of your favorite things? What's something that you like?
When you say just like doing them on?
No, just in general, just the city of LA. Like, what's something that like you really like? Ooh, this is okay, LA. I see you. And what's something about LA that turned you off? And what's something about LA that you like? Ooh, this fly.
The LA itself, nothing about that city really draws me to it outside the opportunities. I always use places as just a place to where I can grow in what I'm trying to accomplish. So when I'm in LA, for example, I don't go out to clubs. There's nothing that when people ask me, yo, what's to do in LA? I'm the worst person to ask, bro.
No, yeah.
Because I'm inside so much working on what I need to work on to make this $1 million that, a lot of times what most people do when it comes to wanting to have something fun to do or a hobby, I don't think like that. My mind is kind of really set on the goal that I have for, since I've been in Los Angeles, really, even when I first got to Cali, I still wasn't going anywhere trying to figure out what the hottest place to go was or the best club. You know what I'm saying? I was still only strictly motivated by the reason why I came to LA, which was to obviously make it in the industry. So, for Los Angeles, the only thing that kind of draws me are things that they all revolve around stand-up comedy or creating content or being in the studio,
Oh, okay.
So for Chicago, like you, do you have something in Chicago that you do for fun to bring you some kind of peace that you're like a go-to
Summertime
place?
Shy. You can't beat Summertime Shy. Just be people out. That little I love Chicago. It's my second first home. Y'all beach ain't shit. But I be out there all the time. Summertime Shy, that's the place to be. But the food, the conversation. I think probably one of my favorite things about Chicago is I'm a military kid, so I'm used to having a melting pot around me. I'm used to having every color, every race, every culture, every mix. And Chicago, one of those, even though it's like a segregated city, everybody stay in their own neighborhood, they still blend from time to time, especially if you like downtown or whatever. Right. So I just love that you can look around and see a little piece of everywhere in the world out here. Very diverse.
Yeah, that shit will annoy you real fast in LA. You be in LA for about a year before you get tired of tourists.
Oh yeah, it'd be the same out here sometimes. Just somebody from Montana in your way, looking up at the tall buildings. You're just like, ugh, get out of my face.
Yeah, it's the worst, especially the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah.
That's right. You guys got legitimate like tourist traps. Chicago has the Bean, deep dish pizza,
Willis Tower,
the Tower, and then that in the Mag Mile.
Yeah.
And outside of that, it's a bunch of bars. Just a ton of dive bars. That's probably, even though I stopped drinking, that's probably the bar life, the bar scene out here. You can't duplicate it. Like every neighborhood, every 3 steps is gonna be another bar, and it's just like its own little culture or whatever. That'd be dope.
That's the best thing you say for Chicago when it comes to visiting, kind of going to the bar hopping scene, seeing the scenery for the.
You hit the touristy stuff for a half a day, and then you just, whoever brought you out here, you go to they local bars.
Yep.
You run downtown, spend too much on drinks at whatever downtown bars, and then you peace out.
Yeah.
Try not to get your wallet took.
Do you think what it costs to go out in Chicago?
Ooh. Depends on what kind of. If you just want to have fun, it's not that. It ain't gonna cost a lot.
Yeah.
If you trying to like glow up and look like you doing something,
it's gonna cost.
It's gonna cost
a decent amount.
Yeah, that's the difference between. In LA, everything costs, bro. You can't really go out nowhere without it costing you a pretty penny. It's a good reason not to go out that much and stay focused, because you can go broke in LA real quick if you bullshit too much.
Oh yeah. It
sense.
definitely feel like that kind of city.
Yeah.
And then plus you out here too, like you gotta see that's the thing. Like other people's hoods scare me. Like I'm not saying nothing about Chicago neighborhood. I know the tempo out here. You know what I mean? Yeah. I know the where tos, the where not tos, what to wear, what not to wear, this, that, and the third. But you go out to LA and you like, wait a minute, I remember the news from last year. They didn't care about Buddy. They damn sure ain't about to care about me. Let me make sure I stay right here downtown or whatever. As a matter of fact, something happened at the Beverly Center last year? Never mind. Forget about it. But I ain't speaking on no hood news at all, man.
The Beverly Center. I ain't heard on that one.
Is it with like the Tesla catching on fire? Or no?
Nah. I think it might have been hood. I'm probably wrong.
Why Chicago? What made you decide on the city? What was the deciding factor?
I was in the this was close, and I had a friend that was staying out here, like my homegirl from high school, and I jumped off the porch with you, and I think I was out there doing comedy for like 8 months. Then I floated down here to visit Shorty, and I was able to get up on Jokes and Notes before they closed it. And it was just like one of those nights where everything fell into place. Like I shouldn't have been able to get on stage, but all the right things happened. They bumped Little Rel to give me some time to get up there.
Interesting.
And then I went up, I did my thing. My ain't shit 8 months in jokes worked somehow, probably just because I was so geeked to be perform. I just knuckleballed them through.
Like the energy.
Yeah, and then so they was able to give me a pass, and then after that I was like, all right, cool, I'm moving. And then I ended up moving, I think like a little bit less than a year later, and Shorty let me stay on the couch for 4 months at $600, and then figured it out from there.
This is the one you met when you got to Chicago?
Nah, I'd known Shorty from the 1900s. She was like, I used to date the sister of the brother of the person she used to date, and it was all like our first, that was like my first girlfriend, like for real, and that was like her first boyfriend for real. So we've been cool since like 96, 97, something like that. And then we've always been good ass peoples. And so she let me stay in her place until like she was like ready to put cyanide in my Capri Sun. Like, because if you just had niggas living for free on somebody's couch for 4 months, it don't matter how long you known each other.
Yeah, eventually
it go out the window quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since the 1900s.
You think Chicago is a city where you guys can get to where you want to be?
For sure.
L.A. or New York, yeah.
For sure.
You get funny here and you move out to one of them.
So for you, Chicago is where you can be to get where you want to be?
I feel like it's a great opportunity to. Like, I feel like there's a lot of great comedians that come from here. Bernie Mac came from here. He's from Chicago.
Some of the best.
Some of the best comedians come from here. I feel like we also have one of the toughest crowds out the whole United States. Because so many people here in Chicago are naturally funny. You go to school, every time there's a roast session at every single table. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, because everybody's so naturally funny, people are always waiting for that next joke, next punchline.
When I say out of here, I mean, can you reach the level you're trying to reach? Not funny-wise, but to become what you want to be. Can you do it from Chicago?
I would say, in this day and age, it's hard to do it in Chicago because I feel like, me personally, I feel like there's a lot of gatekeepers in Chicago, personally, and that will block someone's success.
And I asked that because a lot of it, even the comedians you mentioned coming from Chicago, Bernie Mac, they had to go to New York in order for the charisma pop off.
Now you get funny here, you build momentum, and then you got to go to one of the coasts because they don't have the infrastructure here. They don't have agencies, they don't have talent scouts, they don't have nothing.
Right.
You get funny here, people recognize you, and then you take a flight.
So what do you think the move is as far as for your separate career paths? What do you think the ideal plan is for you for longevity of being in Chicago before you make a choice on where you want to be to make, or do you have a plan for that? I would ask.
Yeah, I mean, as far as a plan, you're your own industry now. Like you don't have to. You could be the funniest dude in America and live in Japan if you got your followers up and all that other good stuff. So I mean, that paradigm is changing a little bit more. If you want to go to New York, what would you even? It's still the natural thing people do. I saw a shorty right now. On my phone, I'm doing a swipey, funny ass chick doing reels and whatnot. Millions of followers. She's in like Arizona or something like that, like Tucson.
And always doing local shows there and everything like that, probably.
And it's just like, you don't have to do whatever. You could just, if you building up your thing. What's that Shane Gillis dude? He's living in Austin right now, which you're not gonna be able to do like blow up and go straight to movies. But
They
he built his
killed-
own thing up so much that he's on Netflix anyway. So
Austin got a good scene now. They got Kill Tony down there too, so you can kind of blow. That's
Austin's a
how
great
Cam got big on
I heard
SNL was
Austin's
through.
a person.
yeah.
It's becoming a scene, you know.
Yeah.
It's becoming a great scene down there. That's what I heard. So that's nice.
What about you? Do you have like a plan as far as what you want to do with your career?
It's like an entertainer.
Right.
Because I'm stepping into this business, especially like this year. Right now, I do enjoy like entertaining people. Like I do not see it as like some type of job or like I'm doing this because of money. No, I'm doing this because of me. It's because I simply enjoy and love making people smile and everything
That's
like
what's
that.
up.
So right now, like the plan for me is really just I don't really have like oh, this is what I'm gonna do. These are like the specific goals right now. I'm still trying to really figure out and put that all together. But right now I'm just, especially with this year being kind of like my first real year of stepping into the comedy space and getting to know a lot more and learning more. I should most definitely hit up more mics, but that's what the next year is for. So right now all I'm focused on is hitting more mics, doing skits, and just putting my name out there so that when people see my face, they're like, hey, I know this kid.
I mean, I'm in just saying, even being young in comedy, I only mentioned plans going into next year because, you know, no matter how young you may be in comedy or how old, writing down a plan is important. Mm-hmm. Even if you're writing down a plan of what your 1 year goal is for stand-up comedy or the industry, or you're writing down your plan for what you need to do, I impose a lot to write down what your actual ideal plan is for your career and write it out now. The longer you wait in preparation, the less moves you're going to make, period. You're going to spend a lot of time practicing and never moving forward. That's why a lot of people stay stuck in the Ferris wheel that comedy is, and you keep doing shows, and then you go and do another show, and you do another show, and then you find yourself in a place where you haven't moved up or down in your career. You're just continuously being booked. So when I say to break free of that carousel, which most comedians get stuck in, which is continuously doing shows, but the careers aren't going forward or backward, having a plan of, yo, I want to do this, and by doing X amount of open mics and creating content, I should have this amount of followers. By having this amount of followers, now through this, I should be able to book these shows. Now that I'm booking these shows and doing this type of content, I should be able to attract the attention of film directors for the movie roles that I want. So when I think about a plan, that's kind of like, even for myself, even for 2026.
Yeah, what's your plan?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for real.
let me get into it. I know y'all don't got one. Y'all don't ask me like this.
I'm doing all right. Don't count my pockets. Please don't.
Sorry,
I
y'all
feel like
both
I'm
came
okay.
in on the plan.
Sorry.
Right.
No, I'm decent.
Cool. So, well, the plan that was already kind of being put into place, I think I told you about it already, was the investment to the property in downtown Los Angeles, which is where I shoot content. I have my own recording studio, and then we shoot a podcast down there. I was shooting a web series. So through 2025, basically, through a series of serious short films on one content page, I'm going to release a series once a month. That's 10 episodes, which is built to attract film directors to the serious side of comedians. I have obviously 3 Instagram accounts where I'm using those to separate, one specifically for stand-up comedy. They're using cut scenes like the Men in Black footage. And then I have another Instagram account using actual creative content that I came up with myself, which attracts more of a, what you call a cult following, which will give you the Desi Banks or the Country Wayne or the Mojo Brooks effect. So the idea is to grow those followings on those pages. And by doing so, you kind of attract the opportunities that you're kind of looking for. Even through, it's been proven through the Instagram account, KilJoi 3. Through that Instagram account, I got 3 major film directors that are following me. And on top of that, through that, we were able to get funding for the film that I'm working on right now, the short film, Mama's Boy, that we're putting into the HBO Short Film Awards for the American Black Film Festival. And with that, that'll open up the door for the film that I talked to you about in your car. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like the plan that I have for what I want to be at the end of the year.
Of
If that makes sense, correct. If that answers your question.
Shit.
Perfectly, for sure.
Perfect, cool. Thanks.
I like that.
Good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's an amazing plan.
Yeah,
Wrote it out.
that's real decent.
On a paper.
Yeah. I'm writing mine too.
You should. I recommend
I'm not
it.
doing none of that shit. Man. I'm not doing none of it. I'm just cooling out.
I mean,
enjoying life. I thought we was about to just snap on camera for an hour and a half, but
damn, man, you can't. Damn, that's okay. So you telling me it's not a good thing to talk with your brothers about a plan to move the careers forward? That's
no, yeah, of course.
That's all I'm doing.
No, of course.
I'm sorry. I want to see y'all do the. That's all.
No.
Yeah.
Damn. Jesus Christ.
Saying it like
yeah, you offended by the plan.
I'm never gonna do it.
I'm not. Well, he said he was never gonna do it with words.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
The fuck you talking about?
I refuse to be successful. I'm allergic to it. As a matter of fact, I'm downgrading. I want out of here. I'm gonna get a studio.
That's
He's
terrible.
going back to that couch.
I'm gonna jump back on the porch for comedy and jump off the porch on trapping.
Right.
I'm selling weed now. I'm not even selling the designer drugs. Like I'm gonna sell Trey Fives.
I get it, man. A plan, right? A plan is to me in my world. I'm only explaining it to you. Is extremely important if you want to be successful and knowing the goal you want to have and the process you need to get there. That's why I'm asking you guys these questions. If you want to be successful in your career, you need a plan.
No, so, I mean, but cutting all the. All right, fine, fair enough.
Like kind of all the
all right,
bullshit,
let's cut the malarkey.
The malarkey.
I definitely have a plan, but I also plan on putting out my next plan is putting this podcast out to my viewers. Right.
Right.
I'm not gonna talk about my plan to my viewers. One, never let people know your directions because that's dangerous. Second. When my plan goes into effect, people will see it. I won't have to tell them.
So it's like the best of both worlds.
So you do have a plan.
It's the best of both worlds.
That's just for me though. That's for me though. Anybody else do whatever else they want to do. But I'm not going to talk my plans because if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing to achieve my goals, it's going to speak for itself. So
that's the point exactly. That if you are doing exactly, I mean, only we all know within ourselves what you do in your private time to move forward. But that's why I asked whether, I mean, out of concern, not really concern. I can't say concern. I'm not concerned about you. But just out of, if you call it motivation or just interest, I just have interest in the people around me on whether or not you have something that you're working on toward a common goal. So whether your plan may be something that...
Do you have a team?
Do I have a team?
Yeah.
Of course.
So, and then y'all work on y'all plans together as a team to grow.
I would say that I have plans that I've made that I was able to build a team around those plans. So I don't really need the plans of others because the ideals that I came up with and the motion that I've had has been able to attract a team around the plans that I have because those plans typically work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
But you got a hidden plan that you don't want the viewers to know about. That's structured, obviously, that you came up with inside of your head that can get you to exactly where you're going, right?
I mean, to a degree, it's not necessarily that. It's just I'd rather like talk is cheap.
Well, talk
so
isn't cheap.
Instead of
talk
telling
isn't cheap.
people,
I would say talk is cheap if you don't really got a plan. Talk is like if I was saying this plan that I just put out and I wasn't working on it, that would mean talk is cheap. But explaining something to someone and working on it doesn't make talk cheap at all. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just going by what DMX told me in a song one time. He said talk is cheap. No, but I mean literally like. I've got things, I've got plans, but what they don't care. The people that tune in, they just, I mean, for my content, they just want to laugh. But like for when it's motivation. So say for instance, I have another show with my team, one of my close teams. And we just interviewed one of the greatest comedians in Chicago, and we interviewed the mayor of Evanston. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like on that side of things, let's talk about the plans and stuff. I got to interview a mayor. That's crazy. You know what I mean?
That's a big W.
But just like on this side, but I wouldn't if the mayor started telling me about his plans for the city of Evanston for 2026, I'd be like, "You sure I'm the right guy?"
I mean, if you think about it, but if you think about it, that's what they. If you think about it, though, that's what they do on national television is give their plans.
You believe them?
Well, that's the thing. But here's the thing: whether or not they're going through with those plans or not, they're letting the public know about their plans.
No, I definitely.
If you're a leader, you have to let the people you're leading know about your plans. Why would you keep your plans to yourself? That doesn't make no sense. Who's going to follow?
But there's also more than one way to skin a cat. So I mean, for sure, like what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for other people. Because it doesn't matter what none of my plans are. I think I do. I think I'm. I on any given 24 hours, I'm doing as much as I can. And on my best day, I'm maximizing the hell out of my 24 hours. And even on my best day, if I strung 30 of my best days together, Jeff Bezos would look at me and go, "That's disgusting. Right. That's all you could do? That's the best you got? You sicken me." So I mean, what's working for him ain't working for me, and vice versa.
What you do in that 24 hours is towards your goal, though, or your plan, right? For sure. If you're maximizing your 24 hours, I'd imagine you're not maximizing it towards something that you don't want to accomplish. You're using that 24 hours to maximize it toward a goal or a plan. So, but once again, that's just a personal preference of writing one down and having it written out. I've seen it repeated in multiple videos that I watch when it comes to the becoming or making of someone who has a lot of money or a multimillionaire. The mindset that I have is that of a multimillionaire. So I follow the instructions or the process it takes to come up with a plan that can actually get you there to reach that goal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
So, and I strongly believe in order to reach that goal, you have to write out.
What's your ultimate goal?
My ultimate goal is to put myself in a position where I can start my own film studio to make my own movies. If you think about the way Adam Sandler did it, he was able to put himself in a position that no matter what kind of movie he made, whether it was good or it was bad, he was always putting his friends in the same circle, hiring the same actors forever in order to put those people in a position to win. The same exact goal is mine. And that is also, I mean, obviously put through the process that I just explained with social media.
You think there's still going to be movies being made in the next 3 to 5 years?
For sure.
Of course. The film industry will never die. Well, what do you think is going to happen? Netflix is going to take over and there's not going to be people going to the movies? The movies is a nostalgic place. The movie theater is a nostalgic place where people don't go just for the movie. It's for the actual experience.
But you grew up with a movie theater. Somebody that's 11 years old that's going to inherit the culture after you turn my age doesn't go to movie theaters. They go to their phone.
Nah, nobody will go to their... No one's watching movies.
Bro, you can't talk about the generation behind you.
I can't talk about that, but I can tell you, no matter what, the experience of going to a movie theater will always outplay looking at your cell phone. That doesn't
for my generation and your generation and a little bit of his generation. But
do you enjoy going to the movies or do you enjoy watching the movie on your phone?
I do.
That's what I'm saying. He's 23, but what about a 3-year-old right now?
A 3-year-old that experiences what it's like to take a date to a movie theater with a 250-foot screen is going to take that over looking at their phone any day when it comes to the experience of a certain kind of film. Like Avatar. No one's going to watch Avatar 5 on their phone. They're going to go to a movie theater and see that shit on shrooms.
They're closing movie theaters down. In 10 years, when a 3-year-old is 13 years old and they get to open up their phone and say, phone, make me an hour-and-a-half movie. I want the dude that plays the new Batman. I want the girl from Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I want the woo-woo-woo in it, and make it funny with a lot of action. And the phone just makes a movie for them right there in front of their face.
The AI aspect of creativity can never take the place of a human mind when it comes to writing an actual story, because AI doesn't come from a place of actual feeling, relatability, or anything when it comes to humans. That's all still replicated based off of someone's experience. So when it comes to artistry or making a film or writing a joke, you can't have AI do it because AI hasn't experienced what you've experienced. That's what creates someone like a Ryan Coogler.
Niggas is trapped in the house.
You can't AI a Sinners movie, can you?
Yeah, you can. But here's where I'm trying to understand you, right? Because we're grown. You're in your 30s, yeah?
Correct.
And I'm in my 40s. You're still in your 20s.
Yes.
So how about the world, 20s, 30s, and 40s?
The world I grew up in versus the world he grew up in is different. You don't ever even remember a time without a cell phone.
No, there was always in my life.
Exactly.
Flip phones was first, obviously, but
exactly,
it was always cell phone.
I saw the whole thing happen, and you were on the tail end of that. What I'm saying is the young generation. There's shorties in the grocery cart right now, glued to their phone. They're 4 years old. They give a fuck about a movie theater?
They don't know what a movie theater is yet.
Exactly. And by the time they get to know the movie theater, who gives a shit? They've been watching their whole life in a phone.
When did the movie theater first come out? I'm pretty sure none of us know this answer.
I don't think so.
What if you said the 50s?
It's got to be the late 1800s was like the moving picture and all that shit.
Okay, so the movie theater, we'll say the late.
Yeah.
You said 1800s.
It got to be the late 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah.
Probably we'll say early 1900s.
They had the air conditioner in 1901.
That makes sense. For an air conditioner, not a full movie theater, especially in the 1800s. That definitely wasn't happening. In the 1900s, though, for sure. Yeah. So in the 1900s, before a cell phone was ever thought of, before the big screen TV, there were movie theaters, correct? And you would think that those same exact people would think the same thing 100 years down the line, because it's been over 100 years since the movie theater came out. And since then, the movie theater has still been in business. It's still where the big pictures are released. Do you really think that a cell phone or AI can replace that type of nostalgia?
Yeah, the radio's been around for over 100 years. Blockbuster used to be around. CDs and cassettes used to be around. Them shit is gone.
That's not the same as a movie theater, though. That's like saying a fast food restaurant that got shut down.
Saying you don't see people anymore. Niggas is in the house or on their phone.
Nah.
They don't care no more.
I see people when it comes to theaters, and that's why when it comes to like AI, for example, when you talk about being able to talk to a phone and create a video, if you watch an AI video, no matter how far it goes, you can tell that it's AI.
Yeah.
All right. And no one enjoys an AI video as much as they do as someone that created something with themselves.
Yeah.
That's real art. That can never change because, and once again, I say that because if you're thinking using your preference with him being a young person or 11-year-old that doesn't know what a movie theater is, or I'm sorry, 3-year-old doesn't know what a movie theater is, that'll never experience, whatever the case is, if a movie theater has been around for all this time and the level of what it is to people hasn't changed, why would it then change 50 years from now, 100?
Fair enough.
And I agree with that point too, because it's like how KilJoi said, when the 100-year difference, I'm pretty sure before like big screens and movie theaters came out, it was always live performance. You know, you get that live performance. I'm pretty sure when the screens were coming out, I'm pretty sure people were like, this would never top no live performance. Why are we getting a pre-recorded thing and we're gonna watch a pre-recorded performance? That doesn't make sense. Live is the way. Yeah. But then when they started to get that magical art feeling of someone pre-recording, now you're getting different scenes and different cuts, different angles from every, you're able
to do more when it comes to a movie.
It's a lot. It's different. AI is just gonna. I feel like AI will always give you like some blank, no feeling behind it.
It's always humans are dialed in for the communal experience to come together and be like and then be focused on one thing. I just be scared, man.
It is scary.
I'm scared because we're looking at the worst version of AI right now. We're looking at the Atari. We're looking at the Super Nintendo of AI.
Yeah,
that shit.
I can agree.
Before you blink, it's gonna be
like I recently went to a Wendy's. The person was not taking my order anymore. It was AI,
bro.
It was
I got a phone call. I had to call AI out. It tried to catch me slipping. I forgot what it was, but you give out your phone number, your email address, whatever, and you start getting those robocalls and shit. Yeah. I got and it was, hi, this is Christine. I was just following up with you on the Whoop the Bam, and this is that and the third. And look, here's what bugged me out. This bitch was breathing.
Ooh.
But there was just something. There was just something in the rhythm of the conversation, like certain little things that threw me. And I was like, "Yo," I swear to God, I was like, "Yo, hey, Chrissy, are you a robot?" Thank you for asking. I'm actually an enhanced whatever blah, 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 that it said. I hung up, but yo. It was breathing. It was taking a breath.
The sad thing about AI that I realize right now, the main use of it is to create sex symbols or sex women. I've seen for AI right now, the majority use that I've seen for AI itself.
You're not wrong.
Outside of Chat GPT, is the main use is to create AI women. That's all I've seen. Make money. Wrong. And unless you're using AI plus chat plus your own creativity to make an app or some shit like that, no one's interested in whatever you're making via AI unless it pleases them in some way, shape, or form.
I think I heard last year, correct me if I'm wrong, they had it like shorties in school was getting busted because they was taking like the cheerleading queen or whatever and putting her face, like AI in it up and making like making like corn videos, but using like the real people from their class. I feel like I saw that article.
You know, AI. So I mean, it's scary that you see these videos or these pictures of like women taking photos with like Anthony Joshua in the bed with the ring and shit. That's dangerous, bro. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's dangerous because you can use that to fuck somebody's life up, man.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if you a dude, you can possibly use it to lie.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if your girl.
Baby, I was at the Cubs game.
Yeah.
Looking at the
For real.
on the
That's the dangerous part of AI. But once again, I haven't seen outside of a very handful of people that have used AI plus chat.
Remember Will Smith tried to sneak a whole audience? He tried to sneak 5,000 like, why that nigga got 33 fingers?
Man.
Like, yo, well, come on, bro.
You're right about this being the Atari version of it, though. That's going to be scary when they've actually perfected it. Kind of like
absolute work.
You think about the Nintendo versus like the PS5. At the same time, though.
Go back and look at the first 2K anything.
Right.
Yeah, for real.
But you know what? We're way behind on the advances we thought we would have. If you look at a space movie from the 80s, we supposed to have flying cars. We're supposed to be on Mars right now. They had a lot of. They thought we was gonna be way further than we in when it comes to technology.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was just out in LA not too long ago, and them little Waymos.
Right, the Waymos, yeah.
It doesn't. Here's what's shocking. It's not shocking. Because they got like the little goofy stuff. They got like the little restaurant, little bots that are driving around with burritos and this and the third. Like, no matter what happened, like even if they was like, hey, we landed on Mars. If 3 months from now they landed on Mars, I wouldn't be like, oh my God. I'd just be like, oh yeah. Is my taxes going up? Like
Which
what does
also
that mean to
goes
me?
back to kind of what you were saying in the pre-show about how most people don't have the capacity to care about something that doesn't affect them solely. You know what I'm saying? So someone going to Mars doesn't help your life at all.
Right.
So you're not going to care about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if someone was like, yo, if this guy makes it to Mars, all black people get $1 million. You going to be rooting for that
Like,
motherfucker.
yo, come on.
I'm watching like a game.
Come on,
yeah.
gang, let's
I'm
get
10%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going to Mars is just something that I think is more. I think anything when it comes to space adventures or anything that we're trying to find out is still entertainment based.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even educational, whatever you want to call it, but we're only finding that stuff out to entertain people. It doesn't. That's the resources of knowing what's in outer space is not going to help anybody on Earth. You know what I'm saying?
I think, you know what I think is going to happen when they make it to Mars? I think it's going to be like America 2.0. Like, they're going to be out there and we be like, oh, send back all the gold and your taxes. And they going to be like, what?
And even in
this
that,
shit ours.
Fuck, bro.
We Martians. Y'all goof ass Earthlings stay over there, man. This our spot. We
Especially
got it.
being born on Mars.
Yeah, they gonna have a Martian. They gonna have a Martian revolution. Watch, as soon as they get to Mars, they gonna be out there for like 2 years and be like, "Hey, yo, we don't want none of them problems you guys showed.
That's funny.
Stay over there, man. This us.
Scary. That's a scary future to live in, man. 2 different planets of people. Oh my
blow
God.
the Martians. Look, for the future Martians, man. Hey, give up the goods. We're coming for y'all. Don't try and hold out. We got better guns.
They might be shooting gold bullets, man. They might have something. They might have something up there.
We're gonna send a rugby team over. Mess y'all up.
One rugby team, lesbians. They're gonna take them out.
Led by Cheryl Swoops.
Mm-hmm. Cheryl Swoops.
That's a great leader.
Shout out Cheryl Swoops.
Yeah, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
She'll lead them to victory.
Hell yeah. What time is your flight leave in the morning?
At 6.
You about to camp out of this? That's look, future entertainers and performers. This is your life. Just popping out to a city, staying in a hotel, eating peanut butter crackers, doing your show, and then finding something to do until your flight take off.
Man, that's the life, baby.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Nah, I enjoy road work. Being able to go on the road like you were saying earlier. And now it's not about just the entertainment. You're actually getting paid what you're worth for what you're doing, which shows progress in what you're doing as well. If someone's willing to fly you to a venue, put you up in a hotel, and pay you money, and you get to pick the people coming with you to perform as well at the drop of a hat, that's quite a level of power to have, you know what I'm saying, in any city you go to. I like traveling. Traveling gives you like a reboost of understanding exactly where you are in comedy. You know, sometimes you get comfortable in Chicago and you get bored with what you're used to doing. If you notice when you go out of town, you kind of like I'm not sure when the last time you guys performed out of town, but when you go out of town, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you're funnier. No matter now, when you was living in Omaha, if you would have came to Chicago and did comedy, you would have been hilarious, right? Kind of like when you first came. Then when you travel from Chicago and you go perform in a different city, it's like a breath of fresh air in front of a crowd that's never seen you before, which kind of re-energizes you. You know what I'm saying?
I like it because it helps. For me, it helps me make my time more universal. Because you could definitely cheat in whatever city you're in, and you know if you're cheating out there. Whatever city you're in, you could cheat. Like I could sit there in front of a Chicago room and just talk about Chicago stuff.
Right.
You know, but then that feels like a cheat code because you can't do that. And trust me, I got Chicago centered like jokes that'll typically work. But then if you try and take that out to Detroit, they're gonna be like, bro, we don't have a train out here.
Naturally.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Not funny.
Do you have a certain set list you typically would use when you go to town, or do you try to figure out different landmarks so you can talk about what's going on in that city?
Yeah, I like to have fun. I like to have fun with the crowd, and I like when the crowd is fun. If I come across a fun crowd, because I usually try and mix in a little freestyle with my stuff, and if my freestyle is kicking right out the gate, then I'll just lay back and just have fun with the crowd for as long as possible and squeeze in a joke or two or whatever. So. I mean, depending on where I'm at, if I'm on the road or whatever like that, if I do get a crowd and they rocking with me, they got good energy from up top, we might create a whole set just with each other right then and there, you know?
Do you believe that process helps you? And I would imagine probably you want to do a comedy special at some point in time. Mm-hmm. Do you think that process helps you create what you want in a comedy special? Or do you think that just helps you be better in the moment?
I mean, your comedy special is personal.
Right.
You're revealing, especially like your first one or your first couple, like you really laying it out there because it takes you your whole career for your first comedy special. However long you've been doing comedy, your first special is your entire career up to that point. Mm-hmm. So that one's always going to be like personal special. I'll tell you, like for me, and this is taking me some time, is I really I'm trying to get away from anything that's jokey. Like I'm really trying hard to make my stuff as personal as possible, and I still feel myself being a little too jokey. But I want to get into a mode where I'm talking more about like real life and just trying to be funny with it.
So do you believe that the things that have happened in your personal life motivate you when it comes to your writing process for stand-up comedy?
Yeah. I mean, my life, yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Almost all my jokes are based off of my life. And I feel like that's what like a lot of people like to hear. Instead, and like you said, like how it's a cheat code. Like you can easily come here and talk about Chicago, and obviously it's gonna be funny. You can't take that anywhere else. But if you're you, and you're saying you, and it's funny here, and you're just saying you about your life somewhere else, and they fuck with it. They like you.
Yeah, of course.
So I feel like that's where a lot of my jokes come from, is really like storytelling, or like what I like, what I don't like, things about me.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of comic you are.
It's a little different for you because he's only been in the game for 8. You know what I'm saying? So your process might be a little. It's a little different because you're still trying to find yourself on the stage completely. Not saying you don't know who you are on stage, you obviously do, but you're really looking for that certainty voice that before you go on stage is not even a thought of what you're going to do or say to get to the end of it. With someone like you who's been in the game for a little bit longer time, the body of work that you worked on up until now, you're using it subconsciously or not, you're using it as this process to develop this version of you that can tell a story.
I wouldn't put out a special right now because I wouldn't have an hour worth of something that feels personal enough to me to warrant it. You know what I mean?
That's what I asked when I say
my life informs my comedy. But like I said, I'm still. If I'm being all the way honest with you guys, I'm still like in the mode where I'm like, let me get the laughs. You know, I will go out there and say personal stuff, but I'm also like keyed in on let me go ahead and get these laughs or just freestyling, having fun. But if I was to do an hour's worth, when I walk out of that room, everybody in the audience should know who I am. Basically, they should have a really good informed, my family, how I grew up, how I do. Like in a room like tonight, though, I'm not gonna go up there and work out my family material and all that others, because that's not my audience. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That's an audience that's like, hey, we got a 2-drink minimum. It's Sunday. It's raining. We missing the game. Be funny and hurry up before I before I throw my cell phone at Shorty head because you don't like the Bears.
Rooms like tonight is one where you kind of walk in and you can gauge it to understand. And that's why even when I went on stage, you kind of try a couple of jokes, you see where they're at. You know, their energy isn't into material, and you go into the deep end of what they really want, which is the crowd work, and they want to be involved. They want to be in the show as well. That process ain't going to help you on TV, or Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel calls you to do a set at all, because you can't do crowd work when you're on TV. So I always try to, even when I'm out of town, I used to be the type of comedian that went just for laughs, right? But once you're a comedian that has a structured set and you're a funny stand-up comic, the laughs aren't going to be enough for you. And this is me personally, because you have to have growth, right, within yourself. The audience doesn't realize that because they're laughing at you and all they see is this person on stage making them laugh. But you have these self-challenges you kind of give yourself while you're on stage that where is this particular show going to take me next?
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I look at when I go to these different shows. Is this show something that I'm doing for laughs? Or is this show something that I'm doing to push myself forward? Is this show in New York something that's going to make my career better or make me better? Or is this show I'm doing as a favor? You know what I'm saying? That's how I kind of gauge that process. And that's why, as important as it is right now, I mean, outside of you have time to really develop over the next year, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. We've been doing comedy a long time. So it's important, especially at whatever age that we may be at, it's extremely important to think about that body of work for your comedy special. Because what happens is you get too comfortable in the laughs and you get to a place where you're like, you know what? I don't think I need a comedy special anymore. Or you become, not you, but in general speaking, you become unmotivated to even want to pursue that anymore. Because people the older you get, the less you kind of, most people, the older you get, the more you get away from what your goals are. The longer you spend not really going toward that. So if your goal is to make a comedy special, the more years you spend not attracting that goal to you, the further it gets away from you. You understand? Yeah. So that's why I say when it comes to the process of going out of town, I asked what would be your process to finalize a comedy special for you, or would you even consider going through a process in 2026 that puts your head in a space of someone that can do a comedy special? Because if Netflix calls you tomorrow, if Netflix saw you do comedy and they said, wow, man, he's super funny, I wonder if he can do an hour, and they called you tomorrow and they asked you, would you be ready for that hour? Or would you go on Netflix and shit on yourself, not you, but in general speaking, would you go on Netflix, shit on yourself, ruin your whole career in one go?
As long as we've been in the game, if you don't have an hour's worth of material, you did something wrong. Now, is that hour going to be top notch or whatever? Cool. That's here nor there, but you should be able to talk into a microphone for an hour by now. More than that, actually. But that being said, too, like having a comedy special isn't in my immediate goals right now. Because also like going through the gatekeepers. If gatekeepers are getting in your way these days, that's not where my thinking is at. Everything is online now, and you built a hell of a following right now. Like having industries and all that other good stuff back you. That's cool, but you could see it in the music industry. There's Young Dolph, there was Nipsey Hussle, there was all these cats that was getting it out the mud, pushing it out their trunk, and they doing just fine. Or you could sign a 360 deal with whoever, definitely more than one way to skin a cat. Like production is there's so many slices of the pie. Being funny, I enjoy being on stage and making people laugh. Period. Like this the greatest.
That's true.
At this point in time, since it's not my primary source of income, it is the greatest hobby I could ever imagine having. Right, and I happen to make money out of it. I happen to make some good connections, network opportunities, the whole nine. But just being on stage, nothing can beat that. Right. But these days, you got to do that. Social media presence. Probably want to produce shows.
Right.
Like the the comedy special, the hour-long special, they talking about who's Asian boy that used to be in Mad TV.
That's a good question. I
Asian,
remember.
The Asian guy?
Asian guy that used to be
Bobby Lee?
Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
He's 20 plus years in the game, and he's just about to release his first comedy special. He gets millions, gajillions of views on his podcast. He tours. He's doing theaters. He do the whole thing. If he come here, he's probably at the Chicago Theater, right?
Right.
So I mean, the traditional past that I grew up with, and on the tail end of you growing up with, they're obliterated, bro. But I mean, the comedy special was cool. You put that comedy special on YouTube and it does over 1 million. That's the leverage that you need. You can go do the Netflix and all the other good stuff.
They all pick up off of that.
Well, that's the point, actually. The fact that you actually don't need a major company to release a comedy special because you have social media. The thing with the gentleman you were talking about, the good thing about him having a comedy special 20 years plus in the game, he didn't need a comedy special because he had Mad TV and all these other things that were giving him what he needed. So you don't have to have a comedy special. If I'm Chris Tucker in Friday and I get a whole, you don't need a comedy special. But I asked,
did Chris Tucker have an hour? I don't think he has a comedy special.
He does have a comedy special.
Does?
On Netflix.
He does have. Was it an old one?
No, he has a new comedy. Well, it's from 2000, new as in like 2011, 12.
But when he was like the hottest thing in the streets, he didn't have.
He
one.
only had a 5-minute set.
Yeah,
but that 5-minute set got him the movie deal he needed that broke him out to Hollywood to the point where you don't even need stand-up no more.
Oh, no. His Def Comedy Jam is legendary.
Right. Eddie Murphy the same. When Eddie Murphy did 2 specials, went into movies, he doesn't need a comedy special no more. Now, on the opposite side of things, you got Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, Mike Epps, who all were very successful in the film industry, but all also released multiple bodies of work from comedies. Dave Chappelle himself is still dropping comedy specials randomly. So that's why I asked, even being a comic, you don't know when someone's going to offer you that special deal. That's why I would say it's always good to be prepared for it. Because if someone offers you a comedy special deal for a certain amount of money, you don't want to have to say no because you can't do it. Especially 13, 14, 15 years in the game for anybody. 10 years in the game, realistically. You know what I'm saying? You want to be in a space where you're prepared for anything. Like Kobe Bryant said, man, opportunity has to meet preparation. You dig? When you have that opportunity, especially if you're a professional, and once again, this is general speaking, not to anybody in general. I mean, here, but like when you're a comedian or you're in a craft like this, basketball player. Let's take it there. Do you think you should work on one thing, or then you should have a couple different options? A couple different bags, right? So if as a comedian, you got the fact that you can make people laugh on a dime. You know that for sure. You know how to write a joke. You got the premise of writing the front, the back, and the middle end of a joke. With that being said, do you have that final bag of can you bring those two aspects together of being able to create a joke and be able to make people laugh and bring that to a community where you can actually talk about your real life and introduce people to you as a person, your ideology, your opinions, and use that to create that connection between you and the rest of the world, which is what a comedy special does. That's why it's called special. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I always just pick brains with comedians that I come across on what your plans or play may be. And it's never something to get into your personal life. I just like to pick brains to see what people want out of this career. Do you want to be a carousel comedian? Do you just want to be funny? Going from show to show, being a funny guy? And not making money to feed your family off of it, where you always have to depend on a second job or some other form of income? Or do you see this career as something that's going to replace that income? Do you see yourself using stand-up comedy as a window of opportunity to get into the film industry? Do you see stand-up comedy as something, or a purist, where you just literally want to do stand-up comedy and that's it? Those questions are something that we need to ask ourselves as comedians. You can't wing it. You can't step into this place. And once again, this is general speaking. You can't step into the world of stand-up comedy, music, sports, politics, without the mindset of being the greatest or the greatest version of yourself, which typically would come in the comedy world with a comedy special. You know what I'm saying? I always impose comics to think about their exact plan, not just how many open mics I'm going to do, not just I'm going to be funny here, but what your actual written ideal plan is for your life and what you want from the industry. I always find it interesting to see what people, whether they're just willing to share it or not, I've always found it interesting to see how creative people's minds work in the process of becoming great. Because I believe myself to be great. I really see myself becoming greatness. So I want to surround myself with people that have that same mindset. In order to learn how to be great, I like to see what other people's process is. Yeah. What are you doing? Oh, I'm writing this down. I do this. I pray 5 times a day. Oh, that's dope. What are you doing? Oh, well, I do this. I go to this. I do this. That's a dope. And then sometimes between what people give you from their plans or what they've written down or the goals that they have, as a group or a group of brothers, you can take from that. Oh, that's good. Your process is this in the morning. You get up, you make your bed just so you have a sense of accomplishment in the morning. That's dope. I can take that. Your plan is here. You want to do 5 open mics a week. You know what? I could work with some jokes. Maybe I should start doing 5 open mics a week. So that's when I ask for anybody's plan, I'm just like, damn, what can I take away from what this man might be doing? What is he doing that I might not be doing to make myself a little bit better? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I expect a lot of people, when you're around people, this is what you can tell when you're around people that don't want to be great. And this, general speaking, a lot of people take offense when you start asking questions that lead to figuring out if they have a mindset to be great. They take offense to it. You know what I'm saying? So the people that I surround myself, I always look at them and I see them in a space of greatness. I see you in a space of greatness. I see you in a space of greatness. So I come forward and I'm like, hey, what are you doing to make yourself great? And I love hearing people, whether you wrote down your plan or it's off the wing or not, but I just like hearing where people's mind is at. You never know who you're talking to. One of us on this couch in a year could be a millionaire, or all 3 of us. And I'm pretty sure when that happens, we would want to know how the other person did it. I'm pretty sure you want to know that plan back to front. So once again, that's something to think about in 2026. Do you have a plan? Is what you're actually trying to accomplish structured? Are you going by your plan? Are you doing what you actually told yourself you're going to do to make it? Because the people around me, once again, you want to be surrounded by people that are like-minded. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You want to be surrounded by people. Sure. If you want to be a millionaire, you shouldn't hang around with broke people. They're not going to help you become a millionaire. Yeah. If you want to be great, you can't hang around people that's halfway in, halfway out. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. Like, it's hard to accept that when you see. Ask any person that's great. If you ever would have got a chance to talk to Kobe Bryant on what he would expect from his teammates, was nothing less than greatness. Michael Jordan, the same exact thing. Michael Jackson, anybody who's a leader or wants greatness for themselves expects it out of everybody around them. And if they don't omit that energy, then it becomes a waste of time. And they end up sucking your energy out because you're around people that don't have that like-mindedness. Pause. What did I say?
Sucking the life out of people. Okay.
Did I say sucking the life out of people?
It was long.
I don't remember. It was a light pause. It was a light pause.
Lightweight.
Light
Lighter
pause.
than you bent over in the picture, smiling, getting humped.
It was a light pause.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, man. The questions I always ask, and this isn't even. I don't ask anybody. I don't. I care less from how most people's careers are going because I'm focused on myself. But like I said, most of the people that I've came across, if I've ever spoken to you before, ironically, me and you met in the situation we met in, we came up with a plan for you, and that plan got you to where you are right now.
Nigga, you said show up to the hideout and try this open mic.
Okay, so listen. I said now when we were first ended up meeting as friends, I didn't say show up to an open mic. We actually had a long conversation. It's about 45 minutes. Matter of fact, it lasted a couple of hours. You stayed up all night talking shit. And that's when I explained to you what I saw in you as a stand-up comedian because you had such a vocal voice without a microphone. And then from there, that night, we started making a plan and a structured plan on what to do when we were done with that situation. So we didn't have to go back into that situation, which is still a plan. Using that plan, you're a professional comedian now, 13 years. Respectable in Chicago, Illinois, which is, like you said, one of the hardest places to do stand-up comedy. That didn't happen by accident. That happened because you planned it in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? Now, it might seem that way because opportunity meets preparation because opportunity is more than likely random. Doesn't happen when you want it to.
Very true.
But because you were prepared for that moment, you were able to succeed in it. Like when you just said, you did jokes that were 8 months in your 8 months of comedy or whatever the case, that worked. Everything fell into place because, ironically, you were still prepared based off of what you did in Omaha in one way or another. Yeah. Same with you. Yeah. The work you put in at these open mics, the shit you did with Kiki's show, that made you prepared to deal with an audience like tonight.
Yeah.
Because 100%. When you first started, you probably wouldn't have been mentally able to deal with that.
Oh, for sure.
But
100%.
The process you put in, the plan, whatever you may call it, put you in that space.
And then even even with me starting off with comedy, like I never knew I was going to get the opportunity to perform at the Laugh Factory for like my first ever show.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like I literally just came across this event organizer. She asked me, "Hey, do you do comedy?" I'm over here lying my ass off like, "Yeah, I've been doing this. Like I've done a couple open mics." And she's like, "You have 7 minutes?" I only had fucking 3. Yeah. But at the same time though, I had 3 that I performed, but I've had jokes written down that I could add it up to make it that 7. And I already had that preparation going because I kind of foresaw me seeing myself doing comedy again because I enjoyed it. And also, when I do comedy, for me, when I go up on stage, especially as a new comic, personally speaking, I'm always trying to go up there like critiquing my jokes. I'm not really going up there and like, I'm just going up there for the hee ha ha's and just getting that little drug. It's like, okay, what can I do better? What can I say better?
And that's what I was kind of going with it a little bit earlier when I was saying even about going up there for the we know we funny. The laughs gonna come, they guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? But what are you doing up there that's really pushing you? Only you know within yourself if you're doing it to push yourself forward. But what are you doing up there to make yourself a better version of yourself? Because I don't even the competition wise, driven by the can or the can't, kind of what we talked about in the pre-show. Realistically, it's still about whether it's the can or the can't, it still has to be inside of you that drives you to be, to succeed in whatever it is you're doing. There's some kind of motivation inside of you, whether it's the can or the can't that motivates you. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Am I getting tired?
I am getting sleepy. Well, that being said, before we get up out of here, man, please, because I know that you live on socials. You got a lot going on there. And then this young whippersnapper is cracking it off. So please let the folks know where they can find you, what you got going on, anything you want to pump out there.
Oh man, I think I've said too much about my plan to tell y'all what I got going on any further. I don't want to give y'all no more juice, like my man said. But follow me on every platform at KILJOI_LL. We got some big things coming up in 2026. I guess I'll take a leaf out of your book and we'll just wait to see those things happen.
Yeah, and you can follow me on Instagram, Julian_FV21. See me perform around Chicago, and that's about that. You see me around.
Yeah, hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you know who it is. Mike Knight, R.A.P. We're at the tail end of 2026. This has to be episode 80-something-ish. I don't remember that. But keeping it going, already told you we have big plans for 2026 coming up. So just stay tuned, gang. We're pulling a midnight shift. Do you understand? We have been out on the stage for the last 12 hours. Mm-hmm. This man has to get on a flight to travel back in time to LA, still pop in to do the podcast. Mm-hmm. Then he's on his way to other places here nor there. So make sure you keep your eyes out for KilJoi. He's burning up the scene. Make sure you keep your eyes out for Max Julian. Well, you don't even know who Max Julian is, do you?
Nope.
The Mac. You gotta watch The Mac. Richard Pryor was in it.
That's an old movie. That was 20 years before you were born.
That's throwback right there.
That's the 19th century.
That's the 1900s for sure.
Yeah, that was some time.
But yeah, no, you guys know what it is. So Mike Knight coming and all the things. It's Real Rap Podcast. Make sure you check these guys out. They're doing big things. They're going big places. They have the same hair but different barbers. I don't understand it.
This guy. I just want to spray some Windex on his dreads to moisture him up a little bit. His dreads is thirsty as hell.
And they used to call him Cocoa Butter Beware. Back in the day.
He got dry baby hairs. Skin peeling off, hairline off the bone.
I will never ever again let another person in here with a rented mustache. I don't like him.
He look like Dre from Power though. He look like Mr. Potato Head when you take the mustache off.
But yeah, guys, you know what it is, man. So we're keeping it coming. Stay tuned. Real Rap Podcast. Julian, KilJoi, Mike Knight. Love y'all. Peace.
Boom.